Chapter 5. Layer by Layer. Mapping the fascial landscape with Rolfing. The chapter opens with a more elaborate series of images and perhaps a short video sequence. The sequence could begin with a 3D rendering of the human body, gradually becoming transparent to reveal the intricate layers of fascia. As the camera zooms in, the different types of fascial tissue, superficial, deep, visceral, are highlighted with subtle colors and textures. The sequence culminates in a close-up of a Rolfer's hands gently manipulating the fascial tissue of a client, showing the subtle interplay between practitioner and body. Accompanying this, there could be a visual metaphor, such as the layers of a nebula being peeled back, or a tightly wound spiderweb gradually loosening its tension. The mortals, in their relentless pursuit of understanding the mysteries of their existence, often resort to dissection and categorization, seeking to break down the complex unity of the body into its constituent parts, to analyze its functions as if it were a machine composed of separate and independent components. Yet, there are those among them, those rare visionaries who possess a more holistic and intuitive grasp of the interconnectedness that underlies their physical forms, who perceive the body not as a mere collection of isolated muscles and bones, but as a complex and dynamic interplay of forces, a living, breathing, and ever-adapting structure held together by the ubiquitous and all-encompassing web of fascia. Ida Rolf was one such visionary, a pioneer who dared to challenge the conventional wisdom of her time and to develop a method, structural integration, or Rolfing, as it is commonly known, that addresses the imbalances and restrictions within this web in a profound and transformative way, layer by layer, restoring its inherent elasticity and promoting a more harmonious and balanced relationship with gravity, the fundamental force that shapes our form and influences our every movement. Rolf perceived that the fascial web, while a unified whole, a seamless and interconnected matrix that extends from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes, is also organized into layers, each with its own unique characteristics, functions, and relationships to the surrounding tissues. She recognized that restrictions, adhesions, and distortions in one layer could exert a profound and far-reaching influence on the layers above and below, creating cascading patterns of tension and misalignment that ripple through the entire body, affecting posture, movement, flexibility, and overall well-being. It is similar to how I have observed the layers of a nebula, those vast clouds of gas and dust where stars are born. From the tenuous and diffuse outer wisps of gas to the dense and intensely energetic core, where nuclear fusion ignites, each layer has its own distinct properties, its own unique composition and temperature, yet all are inextricably interconnected, influencing the nebula's overall structure, its evolution, and its capacity to give birth to new worlds. To address these deeply ingrained imbalances, these patterns of tension that distort the fascial web and restrict the body's natural flow, Rolf developed a systematic and progressive approach, a 10-session series designed to progressively release fascial restrictions in different regions and at different depths of the body. This series is not a rigid protocol, a one-size-fits-all formula, but a carefully crafted journey, a process of guided exploration and transformation, tailored to the unique needs, history, and patterns of each individual client. Imagine, if you will, a tightly wound web, perhaps one spun by an ancient arachnid, its threads tangled and constricted, its once elegant and resilient structure distorted and misshapen, its intricate geometry collapsed upon itself. This is how Rolf often perceived the fascial web in many of her clients, their bodies bound by layers of accumulated tension, their movements restricted and inhibited, their posture compromised and imbalanced, their energy flow stagnant and diminished. Rolfing, in essence, is the process of patiently and skillfully unraveling this tangled web, of gently releasing the adhesions, the scar tissue, and the chronic holding patterns that have accumulated over time, restoring its natural elasticity, its inherent capacity to expand, contract, and adapt, and allowing it to resume its intended function as a fluid, dynamic, and supportive matrix. The 10-session series typically unfolds as follows, each session building upon the previous one, progressively addressing deeper and more complex patterns of imbalance. Sessions 1-3, superficial release. These initial sessions focus on the more superficial layers of fascia, the tissues closest to the skin, addressing restrictions in what Rolf called the sleeves of the body, the tissues surrounding the shoulders, the ribcage, the hips, and the legs. The goal is to create greater freedom of movement in these areas, to improve circulation and lymphatic drainage, and to begin to balance the body's overall tension patterns, to release the more immediate and accessible restrictions that are limiting movement and creating discomfort. It's like clearing the debris from the surface of a river, removing the obstacles that are obstructing the flow, allowing the deeper currents to flow more freely and powerfully. Sessions 4-7, core integration. These sessions delve into the deeper layers of the body, working with the core structures that provide stability and support the pelvis, the spine, and the deep muscles of the abdomen and chest. The aim is to establish a more stable and balanced foundation, to align the body's center of gravity over its base of support, and to release deeply held postural patterns that have become ingrained over years, even decades of accumulated stress and tension. This is akin to realigning the spine of a galaxy, to gently and skillfully guiding its central axis back into its natural curvature, allowing its stars to move in a more harmonious and balanced orbit, and restoring the galaxy's overall structural integrity. Sessions 8-10, global integration. These final sessions focus on integrating the changes achieved in the previous sessions, harmonizing the different parts of the body into a more cohesive and unified whole, and establishing a new and more balanced relationship with gravity, that constant force that shapes our form and influences our every movement. The goal is to promote a sense of flow, ease, and grace in movement, to enhance proprioception and body awareness, and to create a lasting sense of structural and functional integration. Like the final act of a symphony, where all the instruments, each with its own unique voice and character, come together in a harmonious resolution, creating a unified and breathtakingly beautiful whole. Throughout the Rolfing process, the practitioner employs a variety of manual techniques, applying sustained pressure and slow, deliberate movements to release fascial restrictions, to lengthen shortened tissues, and to restore the body's natural capacity for movement and balance. But Rolfing is not merely a mechanical process, a simple manipulation of tissues. It is also a form of communication, a dialogue between the practitioner's hands and the client's body, a subtle and intuitive dance of touch and response. The practitioner learns to listen to the subtle cues of the tissues, to feel for the areas of tension, resistance, and restriction, and to respond with sensitivity, precision, and an unwavering commitment to the client's well-being. The effects of Rolfing can be profound and transformative, extending far beyond the purely physical realm. I have observed humans emerge from this process not only with improved posture, greater freedom of movement, and reduced pain, but also with a renewed sense of vitality, increased body awareness, and a deeper connection to themselves and to the world around them. Their bodies, once bound by tension and restriction, become more fluid, more resilient, and more capable of expressing their full potential, their movements more graceful and effortless, their breath more full and expansive, and their very presence more grounded and embodied. For example, I once observed a human who had suffered from chronic back pain for many years, a condition that had limited his activities, affected his mood, and diminished his quality of life. His spine was rigid and compressed, his movements guarded and restricted, his posture stooped and imbalanced. After a series of Rolfing sessions, his spine began to lengthen and decompress, his muscles softened and relaxed, and his pain gradually subsided, replaced by a growing sense of ease and comfort. He moved with a newfound sense of freedom and grace, as if a great weight had been lifted from his shoulders, his movements now fluid and pain-free. In another instance, I witnessed a woman who had struggled with a sense of disconnection from her body, a feeling of fragmentation and disembodiment that had affected her relationships, her self-esteem, and her ability to experience joy and pleasure. She felt fragmented and ungrounded, her movements awkward and uncoordinated, her posture collapsed and withdrawn. Through Rolfing, she began to develop a deeper awareness of her body, a greater sense of embodiment, and a renewed capacity for sensation and feeling. Her movements became more fluid, integrated, and expressive, and she experienced a profound sense of wholeness, connection, and self-acceptance. These are but glimpses, fleeting snapshots of the transformative potential of Rolfing. It is a process that not only addresses the physical restrictions of the fascial web, but also facilitates a deeper integration of body, mind, and spirit, a reconciliation of the fragmented aspects of the self, and a return to a state of natural alignment and effortless grace. It is a journey of unraveling, of releasing, and of rediscovering the inherent wisdom and vitality of the body. Zoran's quote, "The body is a symphony of interconnected layers, a living tapestry woven from the threads of fascia, a dynamic and ever-evolving expression of the universe's fundamental interconnectedness. To restore its harmony, to bring its music back into tune, you must learn to listen to the whispers of the web, to patiently unravel the knots and restrictions that bind it, and to guide it back to its natural state of fluid grace. Only then can its true potential be realized, its inherent capacity for healing, movement, and joy be fully expressed." Zoran's Trial 5. The layered breath. This exercise is expanded to incorporate a more detailed and immersive exploration of the different layers of the body, using breath, mindful movement, and visualization to release tension, promote fascial release, and cultivate a deeper sense of embodied presence. Find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, in a quiet and peaceful space where you will not be disturbed, a sanctuary where you can turn your attention inward and connect with the subtle sensations of your inner landscape. Allow your body to settle, to release any unnecessary tension, and to find a posture that feels both grounded and open, a posture that allows your breath to flow freely and your awareness to expand throughout your entire being. Begin by bringing your awareness to your breath, noticing the natural rhythm of inhalation and exhalation, the gentle and continuous flow of air that connects you to the world around you. As you breathe, imagine that your breath is not confined to your lungs, but that it is moving through the different layers of your body, like a wave flowing through the intricate and interconnected network of the fascial web, reaching into every cell, every tissue, every organ, and every bone. With each inhalation, imagine that your breath is expanding into the most superficial layers of your body, your skin, the largest organ of your body, your superficial muscles, those closest to the surface, and your subcutaneous tissues, the layer of fat and connective tissue that lies beneath your skin. Feel these layers softening and expanding, becoming more spacious and receptive to the flow of breath, like a flower opening its petals to the morning sun. With each exhalation, imagine that you are gently releasing any tension or tightness from these superficial layers, allowing them to relax and unwind, to surrender to the pull of gravity, and to become more fluid and pliable. Continue this pattern of breathing for several breaths, focusing your awareness on the sensations in the superficial layers of your body, noticing any areas of tightness, restriction, or holding, and allowing your breath to gently dissolve them. Then, with each inhalation, direct your breath deeper into the middle layers of your body, your deeper muscles, those that support your posture and facilitate your movement, your organs, the powerhouses of your inner ecosystem, and your blood vessels, the intricate network that carries life-giving nutrients and oxygen to every cell. Feel these layers expanding and becoming more vibrant, more alive, more filled with the energy of your breath, like a bellows that is being pumped with air, stoking the fires of your metabolism. With each exhalation, release any tension or holding from these middle layers, allowing them to become more fluid and dynamic, to move with greater ease and freedom, and to express their natural rhythms of expansion and contraction. Continue this pattern of breathing for several breaths, focusing your awareness on the sensations in the middle layers of your body, noticing how your breath affects your posture, your organ function, and the flow of your blood, and allowing it to gently release any restrictions. Finally, with each inhalation, send your breath all the way into the deepest layers of your body, your bones, the framework that supports your form, your joints, the hinges that allow you to move, and your core, the center of your being, the source of your stability and power. Feel these layers expanding and becoming more grounded, more stable, more connected to the earth, like the roots of a tree reaching deep into the soil, drawing nourishment and strength from the earth itself. With each exhalation, release any tension or rigidity from these deepest layers, allowing them to become more flexible and adaptable, to move with greater resilience and grace, and to express their inherent capacity for both strength and suppleness. Continue this pattern of breathing for 10-15 minutes, moving your awareness through the different layers of your body with each breath, exploring the sensations in each layer, and allowing your breath to guide you in releasing tension and promoting fascial release. When you are finished, take a few moments to integrate the experience, to gently bring your awareness back to your body as a whole, noticing how it feels, how your breath flows, and how the different layers relate to one another, sensing the interconnectedness of your entire being.